In 1981, Brookfield, Connecticut, was rocked by a murder case that would make headlines worldwide. The defendant, Arne Cheyenne Johnson, was accused of stabbing his landlord, Alan Bono, to death in a fit of rage. What made this case unique, however, was Johnson's defense. He claimed that a demon possessed him at the time of the murder. The story began several months before the murder, when Johnson and his girlfriend, Debbie Glatzel, moved into a rental property owned by Bono. The Glatzel family had been experiencing strange phenomena in their home, including objects moving on their own and unexplained noises. The family believed the house was haunted and eventually called in a pair of paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren, to investigate. The Warrens concluded that the Glatzel house was indeed haunted by a demon, which had latched onto Debbie's younger brother, David. According to the Warrens, the devil attempted to possess David and used his body as a gateway to the physical world. During the investigation, Johnson allegedly taunted the demon, challenging it to take him instead of David. The Warrens warned Johnson not to do this, but he reportedly persisted, believing he could fight off any demonic attack. On the night of the murder, Johnson and Bono were at a local bar with some friends. According to witnesses, Johnson became agitated and began growling like an animal. He then left the bar, and Bono followed him outside. What happened next is unclear. Johnson claimed that he was suddenly overcome by a demonic presence, which took control of his body and made him attack Bono. He reportedly had no memory of the event and claimed he was not in control of his actions then. The prosecution, however, argued that Johnson was fully aware of what he was doing and that he had killed Bono in a fit of anger over a rent dispute. Johnson was ultimately found guilty of manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 to 20 years in prison. The case made headlines worldwide and sparked a renewed interest in the supernatural. The Warrens, who had become famous for their paranormal investigations, were widely criticized for their involvement in the case, with many accusing them of exploiting the situation for their gain. Despite the controversy, the case remains one of the most famous examples of a murder defendant claiming demonic possession as a defense. While the court ultimately rejected Johnson's claim, the case raises important questions about the nature of control and legal responsibility limits. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in the case, with several documentaries and books exploring the events leading up to the murder and the trial. The issue remains a fascinating and controversial chapter in American legal history and continues to captivate those interested in the paranormal and the unexplained.